Good morning and welcome to Radio Friend. It's Friday, November the 14th, and we got one guest with us today. Everybody knows her. She's been around forever and does such wonderful, good work. Peggy Kirkpatrick. Good to have you here, Peggy.
Hi, Paul.
And I said, well, this could be your swan song on Radio Friend with us because you're retiring from the food bank the last day of this year, December 31st.
That's correct.
So what are we going to do without you there at the food bank?
We have a new executive director that's
I
coming on
saw
board
that in the
November
paper.
3rd, Lindsay Young-Lopez.
Yeah.
And so food bank's going to keep trucking, and she's going to do a great job, and I'm going to fade off into the sunset.
Well, I don't think you'll ever fade off into the. I don't think you'll fade off into the sunset, and I think that we will be hearing and seeing a lot of you. But you know, when I think about the food bank, over the years, the food bank has become more and more an integral part of the community because of the people who have benefited from the food bank. If it weren't for that organization, many of those folks would have no food on the table at all.
That's true. That's true. And I keep hoping I can come on your program and say, guess what, Paul? The numbers are going down, the need is going down, and so far that's not the case.
It's going the opposite direction, isn't it?
Yeah, it still is. It's still very high.
But you were telling me about a program, a new program,
Right.
that is being instituted with the food bank,
Right.
that should benefit people the way we think of ourselves, correct?
That's
Why
correct.
don't you explain that to the listener?
We are in the process of working on a pilot program with United Community Builders, which is another United Way funded organization. It's an offshoot of United Community Cathedral Church. And together we're working on a program called Transformation. And here's how it works, Paul. We're working with people who are generational poverty. They have grown up 3, 4, 5 generations of being in poverty.
And that's all they know.
And that's exactly correct.
It's all they know, and they feel that is their destiny in life.
That's
That is their
correct.
lot in life. And it doesn't have to be that way.
That is absolutely correct. I've told people I've spent 22 years helping people cope with poverty, and I want to spend whatever years I have left on this earth helping people get out of poverty. And I'm hoping transformation is one of those routes.
So how does transformation work?
Well, it's based off of the concept of change the way you see yourself, change the way you think. In the Bible, Romans 12:2 says, be transformed by the renewing or changing of your mind. So if people in generational poverty have been told all their lives that they're losers, that they're stupid, that they're incompetent, they'll never get out of poverty. I will never forget that. I've heard that over and over of parents telling their kids, you're just like me, you're never going to get out. Well, I'm here
You're planting that seed. You're planting that seed.
Right.
And what you plant is what you reap.
There you go. There you go. That's another biblical expression. So we start with phase 1 of changing the way you see yourself. You do have value. You do have self-worth. You do have something to offer this world, and you are employable. You can be on your own. So that's one. If you change the way you think, then if you change what's in your heart, then you're going to change what's up here. You're going to change the way you see something rather than a problem or you're never going to make it. You're going to start looking for solutions. You're going to look for, okay, who can help me overcome this barrier? And then once you change what's in here, you change what's in your head, then you're going to change the way you react to the world and interact with the world.
Oh, that makes so much sense. It basically is what you believe is what is going to happen.
That's exactly correct.
What you believe is what's going to happen. You send those little signals out into the world that either you're a loser or you're a winner, and you can do it. You can accomplish what you set out to do.
And we're about finished with our first class. We started very, very small, and we're really doing this under the radar. So you're really the first media outlet that we're talking about this. And we started with 8 people in the class. We wanted to start with 10, but we started with 8. We thought we were going to start with an age group of late teens, early 20s, but we found out that it's when you're older and when you think, oh my gosh, I want to get out of poverty and I don't know how.
When you think it's too late.
Yeah. When you're 18, 20, you think you can still do it. I can do this thing. And then they find out that maybe they can, but most of the time they can't. The folks we have in there, all women. We lost the 2 men. All women, they're older. The oldest is 45 and the youngest is in her mid-20s. We were hoping that we would graduate 50%, and then we're going to get them jobs. We're going to graduate 6 out of the 8, so that's more than 50%. We're working on the interviewing skills now, the resumes. We're working on getting them entry-level jobs. And the beautiful thing about transformation is it's not like you graduate, okay, we get you a job, and good luck, you're on your own.
No, you stay with them.
You stay with them for 2 years.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful.
And because there's new challenges once you get the job. How do you keep it?
Right.
How do you overcome some of this stuff? So that's what we're working on.
It sounds like a wonderful program, Peggy. I'm glad that it's associated with the food bank, and you're still going to be associated with that.
Yes.
So
yes.
even though you're retiring from the food bank, you're still going to have your hands in there, aren't you?
Well, not the food bank. I'm
Right.
going to have the hands
with
on
this
the other
program,
side.
This program.
I'll help fundraise and things like that.
Yeah,
for
and
it.
I do hope that you will come back and keep us posted on how it's going.
If you don't get tired of me, Paul, I'll come back.
I want you to come back and keep us posted on how it's going. And I think the important message that we have here today is anybody listening, if you feel that you are down and you're in a rut and life is going against you, you can pick yourself up. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of help available, no matter what the situation is. There are people that want to help you, but you've got to want to help yourself, and you've got to have that positive way of thinking. Mm-hmm. That makes all the difference. It's the same thing with if you're ill.
That's correct.
You've got to think positive. So we think positive, all right?
Yep.
Peggy Kirkpatrick, thank you so much. If people want to help the food bank, what's the phone number to call there?
1-800-764-FOOD or 474-1020.
Okay. And always a pleasure having you here. Continued success as you go through life. Peggy Kirkpatrick.
Thank you, Paul.
And we'll see you on Radio Friends again real soon.
Okay.
All right. Monday, Hickman High School musical. They've got a bunch of kids coming out here to perform for you. Our program directed by Travis McMillan. Reynolds Journalism Institute. Audio is Pat Akers from KBIA. Our floor director is Lowell Thomas. And our assistant producer and guest coordinator, Uncle James Mauser. If there's something you would like to hear or see, I would love to hear from you. Pepper P, Missouri.edu.